Hey folks, good to be back with you again. Hope you're having some happy mixing out there. I sat down to do this one last night actually, and I heard this guitar. Take a listen. So to me, there's a little bit of Hank Marvin in there. So I'm thinking old analog delays. Now, I've come across this company called Fuse Audio Labs. Now, if you go and do your research, you'll find that the developer, the programmer for these plugins, has actually worked for Brainworks and also Black Rooster Audio. So I know we've got some quality on our hands here. So what I did is I tried to work out, I actually took, let me go back a little step further. I went and worked out the delay. So he's got a very quick, like a slap, and then there's a delay, and it's got its own little rhythm. So let's take a listen. So I've got three instances here of the Bucket-500, which is an analog delay. Now this is pretty cool. There's some pretty cool things you can do with this, and there's the analog world but brought into the digital realm with a whole bunch of features that you and I would want to use. So what I ended up doing is making three instances of this. So there's three tracks. So I've taken each delay. So the first delay I had 123 milliseconds. The second one was 310, and the third was 166. So it gives you that little clip, like you can see the one above it. Now that was his original. So let's have a listen. That's Hank Marvin himself. Here's our one. Let's mute that. So there we go. We've just recreated his sound. So it's his first note, and then we've just made the delays that suit with it. Now I've set these up so that we've got all the dry sound gone. Okay, so we're feeding one track into the next, into the next, into the next. I found that to be maybe not the easiest way, but the way that actually made sense. The first one I did actually keep a little bit of feedback in it to give it that full sound that he has. And then I copied it over, saved all those little presets as 1, 2, and 3, and brought it in over here. So we've got our guitar. Get this one going again. Okay, so we'll play that through, and I'll let him do some of his chords as well, and just take a listen. So you've got that full sound, but you're just using delays. So you're actually kind of making a reverb, really, in three different parts. And of course, you can adjust the levels of these. I've got them down here, 3 different tracks and 3 different buckets. And you can adjust the delay signal if you want to. You can mess around with it. The second delay, you can make it louder or quieter, and it doesn't have to be normal. There's no limits these days. There's no limits in what you can do. So in this case, we've got 3 of these. I've got my presets here set up for Hank Marvin guitar 1, 2, and 3, and I've also got a stereo version which I could stick on the first one as well, just to give you a little bit of difference. Pretty cool. Now with the feedback, you've also got a feedback filter, so I can actually adjust the high pass or the low pass on that, and I can also give that feedback a plus 3D boost just by popping that little button. So it makes it very easy. Now, if you're doing stereo processing, you can also click the crossfeed, and that will send a little bit of right to the left and a little bit of left to the right and just add some more things. And if you want to get crazy, use the LFO. Now that I've got a little bit of that analog going on for the guitar, and then I thought, well, why not put something going on there with, let's try and work out some kind of tape for the vocal. So I've set up one here for 7.5 IPS, and let's have a listen to the vocal.
Funny when I'm the one who had always been there. I guess it's nothing new.
There you go. And if you want to change it for 15 IPS, I've got one set up for that as well.
Funny when I'm the one who had always been there.
So it's a little bit tighter. So you get that classic analog sound just using a great analog delay emulation. There we go, the Bucket-500 analog delay from Fuse Audio Labs. Go and check it out. Have a play with it. Get creative. And happy mixing.